Hey, what's going on? It's Jeff Newport from ChasingStrength.com. And in today's video, we are discussing, can you build muscle with kettlebell swings? This is part 2, right? So if you need to catch part 1, go check the previous video. So in our last video, I told you about a message that I got from Mike who wanted to know the answer to the question, can you build muscle with kettlebell swings? And in that video, I gave a qualified answer. So again, if you haven't seen it, make sure you go back and watch it to get the answer, all right? So today I wanted to show you a simple yet challenging way to actually use the kettlebell swing to build some muscle, right? It's called a kettlebell complex or a complex, right? We call it a kettlebell complex because we're using kettlebells. It could be a barbell complex if you use barbells, or dumbbell complex if you use dumbbells. You get the point, right? Regardless, it's called a complex. Now, you may or may not have heard of a complex before, so let's define our terms, okay? Because there are different ideas about what complexes are. This complex that we are discussing is a series of compound exercises, okay, performed sequentially. It means in a row with the same weight, in this case, a kettlebell or a pair of kettlebells, and you're doing it without putting the kettlebells down. So no rest. All the reps for one exercise in the complex are completed before moving on to the next kettlebell exercise in the sequence. Okay, so I'll throw an example up here for you. So an example would be 5 kettlebell swings, 5 kettlebell cleans, followed by 5 kettlebell presses. My preference for muscle building, if I had to pick between using a kettlebell or a pair of kettlebells, well, it'd be a pair of kettlebells every day and twice on Sunday. Okay, so if you recall from the last video, there were 3 different ways to build muscle according to muscle building expert Dr. Brad Schoenfeld, and the kettlebell complex falls under the mechanism called metabolic stress. Okay, here's how Dr. Schoenfeld described what metabolic stress is. We'll put this up on the screen so you can follow along. Okay, metabolic stress manifests as a result of exercise that relies on anaerobic glycolysis for ATP production, which results in the subsequent buildup of metabolites such as lactate, hydrogen ion, inorganic phosphate, creatine, and others. Muscle ischemia has also been shown to produce substantial metabolic stress and potentially produces the additive hypertrophic effect when combined with glycolytic training. The stress-induced mechanisms theorized to mediate the hypertrophic response include alterations in hormonal milieu, cell swelling, free radical production, and increased activity of growth-oriented transcription factors. It has also been hypothesized that a greater acidic environment promoted by glycolytic training may lead to increased fiber degradation and greater stimulation of sympathetic nerve activity, thereby mediating an increased adaptive hypertrophic response. That was a mouthful, but at the end of the day, we think it works like this. The increased metabolic stress triggers the release of testosterone and growth hormone, your body's main muscle building hormones. Okay, that's it. That's basically, in a nutshell, that's what we would say. So in order to do this, you place your swings anywhere in your complex. Okay, beginning, middle, or end. Where you place them affects your outcome. Okay, so let's take a closer look at how you would do this. So you can place your swings at the beginning of your complex as a primer for more other challenging lifts, in the middle to actually just do more work, and you can also place your kettlebell swings at the end as a finisher. Let's take a look at some examples of what that might be. I'll throw these up on the screen. You can copy them down, right, if you want. So if you put them in the beginning, you do 5 swings, followed by 5 cleans, followed by 5 presses, followed by 5 snatches. Okay, again, all in a row. Don't put your bells down. If we put the swings in the middle, you would do 5 front squats, 5 swings, and then 5 snatches, right? And if we wanted to use them as a finisher, we'd put them at the end, okay, and smoke you. It'd be 5 snatches, 5 presses, 5 cleans, 5 front squats, and then 5 swings, okay? Now, to me, the best part about complexes and using complexes, at least in my book, is that they're incredibly time efficient for training to build muscle, strip off body fat, and boost your conditioning levels. I mean, I've put together complexes that people have used where they're done in 7 minutes. So they can't believe it. They're like, 7 minutes, that's it, that's all? Yeah, that's all you need, okay? So let me throw out a caveat here for you. You should make sure you know how to perform all the exercises in these complexes with the double kettlebell lifts, okay? So all the double kettlebell exercises, this is When you're using complexes, this is not a time for technique acquisition. Okay. This is not a learn as you go type thing. That's because large amounts of fatigue build up really quickly. And one of the best ways to get hurt is to have your technique go south when you're tired. Okay. And that's because fatigue makes you struggle with your technique. So if it's not already ingrained and not already cemented, and not already intact, there are going to be problems. Okay. So if you need to learn or fine tune your double kettlebell skills, I'm going to leave a link in the description below for a product called Kettlebell Strong. Right. It's a video series. I think you're going to love it. It's almost 4 hours of video. Super helpful. Okay. At least that's what other people tell me. And secondly, if you want to build some muscle with complexes, and if you don't want to have to design your own, I'm going to leave a link again in the description below for a program called Kettlebell Hard. I think you're going to love it. Right. There's about 39 different complexes and chains. What are chains? We'll get to that some other time, but you can click on that link and find out. Okay. So hopefully you found this video helpful. If you did, click the like button, leave me a comment about your thoughts, right? Have you tried complexes before? If so, what do you think about them? Have you actually grown any muscle using just kettlebell swings? Tell me about your experiences with building muscle just using kettlebell swings, right? If you have, good, bad, indifferent. And if you're not a subscriber already, go ahead and click the subscribe button. And if you found this video really helpful, grab the share link and share it with a friend or two. Okay, that's all I got for you this time, my friend. Until next time, stay strong.